This is our second day in Chapter 7, Section 1 of your textbook. This focus really is just going to be on writing the rules and determining whether or not something is a permutation or a combination. So we're not actually going to solve for anything until the next video. Let's start with permutations. So a permutation is a selection of a group of objects in which order is important. Okay, so permutations, order is important. So in a permutation, AB is not the same as BA. So even though they're the same letters, because they are arranged differently, that makes them two separate choices because orders do matter in a permutation. And the way that we would write permutation looks like this, with a subscript for N and R, where N represents the total amount, and then R represents the amount selected. So if I were to look at this example that says, how many ways could we get first, second, and third place winners in a race with 4 people? So I know that this is a permutation because there are winners and they are racing, okay? If you're racing, there is a clear distinction between winning first, second, or third place. It doesn't just matter that you're a winner. I'm sure that you would want to win first place. So because this is a permutation, I put a capital P. On the left-hand side, the subscript is going to be the total amount. So how many people are running the race? Well, that's 4 people. And on the right-hand side, we're going to put the amount of people we are selecting. So how many people out of the 4 are considered winners? And the answer to that would be 3 because we have a first, second, and third place. So I want you to make a note that keywords for a permutation would be line up, arrange, organize. When there's different positions or different roles, for example, there's a difference between first, second, and third. Do you care which one that you are assigned? Now, a combination, scooch it down here. A combination is a grouping of items in which order is not important. So in a combination, AB is the same as BA because they contain the same 2 letters. Order doesn't matter. The notation is very similar, but instead of a P, we put a C. So P stood for permutation. C is going to stand for combination. And once again, N on the left-hand side will represent the total amount, and R on the right-hand side represents the amount selected. So the best way that I can show you is just by doing an example. Suppose that you invite 3 friends to go with you to a concert. You have 5 friends that want to go. So you decide to write the 5 names on slips of paper and place them in a bowl. How many possible ways could you choose a group of friends? Or your group of 3 people? See, for this one, order does not matter because it doesn't matter what order you draw the friends' names out of the hat. What matters is that they're selected and they get to go to the concert. So this is a combination. And on the left-hand side, we want to put the total amount. So there are 5 friends who wanted to go. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to put the amount selected. So we're going to pick 3 friends. Okay. What we're going to do next is just practice identifying between permutations and combinations, and we're going to write a rule for each of these. Again, we're not solving yet. Part A. Rachel has a dozen eggs. She wants to decorate 4 eggs for an art project. So I want you to put down a P or a C for what you think that would be. Does order matter or does order not matter? If order does matter, put a P. If order doesn't matter, put a C. So I'm going to read it again. Rachel has a dozen eggs. She wants to decorate 4 eggs for an art project. So does order matter? No. This is a combination. She has 12 eggs and she's picking 4 to decorate. It doesn't matter in what order she picks those 4 eggs. It just matters that she is going to be decorating 4 eggs out of the 12. Now part B says Mr. Jacobs is lining up 12 kindergarten students for a performance. So put down a P or a C if you think it's a permutation where order matters or a combination where order does not matter. This is a permutation. Mr. Jacobs is lining up the 12 kindergarten students. So it's lining up, permutation. There are 12 students total. How many are being lined up? Well, all 12 of them. So it's 12P12. Part C. Amanda has 10 valuable baseball cards. She wants to select 2 of them to sell online. So it doesn't say whether or not it matters which 2 she selects, and it doesn't also say a difference in their value or how much money she wants to make. We just know she has 10 and she's randomly just going to select 2 of them in order to sell. So with that being said, would that be a permutation or a combination if she's just picking 2 out of her 10 to sell? It's a combination. We had a total of 10 and we're picking 2. Part D. Chris has 5 soccer trophies to line up on the mantle of his fireplace. So is this a permutation or a combination? If he has 5 trophies to line up on his mantle. Line up is the key word to say this is a permutation. There are 5, and he's going to line up all 5. Part E. Erica has to select 5 photos from a box containing 25 photos to use in the yearbook. So it doesn't say she's going through and picking her favorite ones. It doesn't say she's picking her first favorite, then her second favorite, her third, her fourth, her fifth. All it's saying is she's just going to pick 5 photos at random from her box containing 25 photos. With that being said, is this a permutation or a combination? A combination, where there were 25 and she was picking 5. Had it said that of the 25 photos, she's going to select her first favorite, her second favorite, her third favorite, fourth, fifth favorites, that would have been a permutation. Or if it would have said she's picking the best photo, the silliest photo, the most beautiful photo, something with a distinguishment between the photos, that also would have been a permutation. But just because she's selecting 5 at random, it is a combination. On your homework, you're just going to go through and read the 11 problems. Oops, let me scooch this. You're going to go through and read the 11 problems that I gave you, and you're going to identify it as a permutation or combination and write the rule. So that's writing it like NPR or NCR, where you're plugging in the numbers for N and R, just like what we did right here in this section. Remember, permutations, order matters. Combinations, order does not matter.